The Chamber of Haunters, uniting the haunt industry.
Welcome, everybody, to the first Chamber of Haunters Lunch and Learn. I am Keone Hutton, one of the hosts of the Haunting You podcast, and I am here with my co-host, Leslie Reed. We were asked by the Chamber to come and help moderate these Lunch and Learns, and we were more than happy to lend our expertise, our podcasting expertise, to do so. This is the very first Lunch and Learn, and so kind of the idea here today is to figure out what you, the audience, really want to get out of these lunch and learns. We're going to talk to some folks. We're going to do a lot of brainstorming, and we hope to get as much engagement as possible from all of you who are here listening to help tailor the curriculum that the lunch and learns are going to follow really for the next year. So super excited to have you here. What we come up with today is really going to set the course for the next 12 months or so. And so please engage as much as you can. If you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you should see a questions box. As we are going, please type any questions into there, and then we will get them answered as we roll. Every so often, you'll also see polls pop up that my co-host will be moderating. Jump in on those as often as you can, because it will keep Leslie more than entertained, and hopefully the rest of you as well. Yeah,
I was having fun this morning.
She's already having fun with it. Absolutely. And then below that, you should also see a chat function. The chat function is open to everyone. Please feel free to work some discussion in there. And so if you have questions for us, the moderators, or for any of the guests that we have on, put that into questions. Otherwise, feel free to drop things into the chats to talk with the other attendees. So to kick it off, I think we want to start by bringing on the president. Well, before we do that, let's give a little background of ourselves. Les, why don't you introduce yourself, because I have been doing all the talking so far.
All right. Yep. So I'm Leslie Reed. As Kay said, I am one of the co-hosts of the Haunting You podcast. I've been haunting and a Halloween enthusiast for pretty much my entire life. So really what I do is I help plan, design, and on occasion when I can make it out to Maryland, I help build our haunted house, Sanguine Creek Estates. I also do a bunch of the writing, makeup design, and kind of whatever else Kay needs help with, problem solving and making things work, or more often than not, coming up with absurd ideas and then he gets to figure out how to make them work.
That is definitely the truth. As I mentioned, my name's Keone Hutton. I am a lifelong haunter. Got my start when I was in 6th grade. I remember very distinctly in 5th grade going to someone else's home haunt and walking away feeling, well, shit, I could do better than this. And so the next year I started trying to do that. Started very, very basic. I was just me jumping out of my parents' bushes in front of their front door, which I have to say, very effective strategy. It has worked for me ever since. But it has grown dramatically in the years since. And Leslie has been haunting with me since we were in 11th grade. Although I think that first year was also fairly modest when you were just throwing snowballs at us as we were trying to haunt. Yeah, water. That's right. It was water balloons. You're right.
There was no snow yet. It was just water balloons. If there had been snow, I would have thrown snowballs.
Indeed. But I greatly appreciate all of the efforts you have put in since then. Definitely much more than that first year. Love you, Les. So that's a little bit about us. We mentioned we are the hosts of the Haunting You podcast. You can find everything about our podcast on the website hauntingyou.com. That's just the letter U. Please feel free to go check it out. We're currently home hunters. We want to go pro, and we're documenting our journey through that podcast. So if you are in a similar boat, one day want to go pro, or even just have interest in that journey, feel free, follow us along. You can find us on any of the podcast websites or apps. But on to today and the first Lunch and Learn. I want to bring the current president of the Chamber of Haunters onto up forward to talk a little bit about kind of what the Chamber has envisioned for these Lunch and Learns. So Kimberly, thank you so much for inviting us to moderate this Lunch and Learn. We are so excited to be doing so. Tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then where you want to go with these Lunch and Learns.
Well, first and foremost, thank you both for being here and following down this path with us. And we're so grateful to have Haunting You a part of this journey. And it has been a journey trying to get it up and finding the right platform and making sure that it would work for all of our members across the country. And that's a challenge, especially when you're looking at different avenues of how to teach and how to reach everybody. And I think this platform is going to do us well. We'll have live sessions going on, of course, as well as the traditional, they can, do it as time permits sort of sessions, like our ghost program. But as far as the lunch and learns are concerned, we're really excited about it because it's going to be a series of classes that we can really reach out to the haunt community and bring people together. And that's what we're about, is trying to find those resources and trying to find a different way that people can connect and they can learn and they can make sure that they are getting the information that they need, because we do act as like a chamber of commerce. We are there for everyone, for everybody to learn, everybody to have the resources. And if, they need help, they can reach out to us at any time. So the lunch and learns are a vital part of that, because there are anywhere, even on our board, we have charity haunts. We have large haunts that have been doing this for years. And everything in between. Home haunts are really vitally important. But if you take, charity, home, and larger haunts, they all have different needs. And so trying to figure out what those needs are sometimes is really, really difficult. Trying to navigate that path and then navigate it across the country with all of our members from, the East Coast to the West Coast and everything in between. Everybody has different parameters and different locations that have different needs, dealing with different municipalities for coding and all of that. And so it's really hard. So we don't necessarily know, unless people tell us what they need, how we can help them as a chamber. And that's where this all came from, was that we could sit here and we could plan out an entire year of classes. But the reality, if we do that, it may not be what our members actually need. And so it was important for us to not have that happen. And that's why we wanted to do today's session, was to reach out, invite people saying, what do you want to see? What do you want to hear? So that we can then come out of this session and I can go forward with the board of directors and we can find the teachers, the instructors, and we can have every month a different topic and we can move forward. So it's vitally important to us to hear from everybody. And that way, make sure that we give them the quality materials that they want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we're live right now, and everyone who is attending today has the opportunity to participate in the discussion. But for those who are busy on a day that we are hosting a lunch and learn, how can they access the material afterwards? Is it going to be open to?
It will be. We do have a back end to the Chamber of Haunters website, and everybody will be able to access that 24/7. This particular one will probably be up on YouTube, but all of our members are going to have will have the access to it first. So it'll be put into the back end so that they can go through the portal on chamberofhaunters.com, and they'll be able to download it, play it, get all the information. In future, we will be able, that was something that we wanted to make sure of when we were picking a platform, that we could upload handouts and such.
Perfect.
People can download it even in the classes. Today we don't have one, but in future one we'll be able to upload them in PDF format so people can immediately download them, and we can also email them copies directly. So all of that information will be available for everybody who attends, and that will again be located on chamberofhaunters.com.
Perfect. And for if anyone is trying to get hold of you, Kimberly, or the Chamber of Haunters, there is, of course, the website, chamberofhaunters.com. How else can they get in touch with you?
They can email me directly at president@chamberofhaunters.com.
Direct line straight to the president.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll go straight to my desk.
Nice little bonus.
And like I said, I'm pretty good about checking my email, to be honest with you. I get back to everybody within 24 hours. So, send me concerns, questions, or whatever. And I will, if I don't have the answer, I will absolutely find the answer for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I'm going to take you off the spotlight now, and we will continue on.
Thank you guys again.
So we want to start off today by spotlighting one of those haunts that we hope is going to be getting both talking about everything that they do, as well as hopefully getting something out of everything that we're trying to do as well. So I want to invite up Mr. Joshua Bone from the Haunted Bone Cemetery. Joshua, how are you doing? Josh or Joshua?
Doing well.
Josh. I will stick with Josh then. Fantastic.
I go by Josh.
Easier for me to say. So you run the Haunted Bone Cemetery. Tell us a little bit about your haunt, as well as a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into haunting, and what keeps you coming back?
Sure. So I started actually was a display back in 2012. Kind of previous, like my grandparents were big into Halloween. My grandpa would do those mechanic jumpsuits, stuff those with like leaves and all that stuff.
I got a closet full right here.
Porch. I like dressing up. Yes. So it was dressing up. Honestly, I was actually terrified of Halloween. So haunted houses scared me. But as I gotten older and gotten used to it, I loved it. My first actual haunted house wasn't until I was 18.
I totally get that. I've got two boys that are, I'm going to say, absolute chickens when it comes to Halloween, but I taught them that, come do Halloween with me, and then you will be the scariest thing, and you don't need to be afraid of it anymore. And like, they haunted for the first time with us this year and are absolutely hooked. So I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Haunted Bone Cemetery. What kind of haunt is it? Walk us through a little. If we were to come visit, what will we see?
Yep. So I am actually home haunt. I only operate on Halloween. It used to be Beggars Night. I live in Des Moines, Iowa, so they used to do it the day before Halloween. So it was originally just a display, and then I grew from that. So we actually changed our name. Because I'm kind of setting up to where I'm eventually want to go pro or go. So I
was wondering about that because when I Googled you, something came up, but like a website that's not ready yet.
Yeah. It is not ready yet. That is actually going to be coming up after Texas Haunters Convention. Also, that's going to be a lot of my social you're going to go to, but that's going to be because I'm working with a charity this year. I'm also we also have a hearse club. They're actually going to park at least one hearse, if not maybe two, out front of my house this year. So, and we're going to do the charity is actually an animal rescue. But come July, I'll release that in July when we're going to go over some details for that.
Perfect.
So,
talk a little bit about the type of experience that you're trying to deliver to your guests.
Basically try to do family friendly and kind of gore. I kind of want to cater to all. Definitely when I'm also thinking future in mind, I want everybody to have the same experience, even though if they have like, I know Phoenix FX does like stuff with like disabling stuff for, people that can't, and like strobe lights, everything. We kind of don't have that here in Des Moines. We have the gore. We also have another haunt that just is not gore and just does phobias. So trying to bring something that here where it's a mixture of phobias and gore. I don't want to go too much gore.
What do you view as your target audience when you're designing?
So I try to stay like little kids. I do have stuff for teenagers. I don't care if you're 18 years old and you're trick-or-treating, I will give you candy. So, and same thing with the adults. I give the adults the candy. And also, the one big problem I have is, so I live literally a block away from
What a location.
I am literally from Drake University. I am literally behind them. And my street is all it is you have two ways out. And everything else, all side streets are dead ends. So I have to do a lot of like advertising on Facebook and trying to get the word out. And like, hopefully, I mean, I did have 53 people come last year. I kind of want to do more, but it also depends on the weather too. Because there's times it's been cold. There's times I've had to close because I was not standing outside any longer. Sometimes it's too hot.
The joys of fall. But you never know what it's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, we also try to appeal, I'm going to say, to a wide audience because we really want it to be accessible to trick-or-treaters and the younger kids and get them hooked on it. But we build in a fairly rural area, and so same thing. We're not going to get a whole bunch of trick-or-treaters coming. We have to bring people in, and that tends to be a bit of an older crowd. And so we tend to handle it by doing, I'm going to say, a lighter show early in the evening, and then transitioning to a more mature show as the night goes on when we're getting those older trick-or-treaters, the older guests. How do you find it works best for you?
So we do have kids in the neighborhood. I don't know where they go on Halloween because sometimes they're not even at my house. But we do have a lot of little kids. They will actually come to my house the first hour. Normally, it's still daylight out. We also back off. We don't scare as much until it starts to get dark. I'm doing a lot of this year. I have to do a lot of planning this year because I acted for the first time last year. Normally I just stay on the porch and hand out candy. Then I got friends together, so they did the candy, and then I did just running around the yard.
No injuries, I hope.
So I have to literally rework my whole cemetery so that way I can get around. Or I'm also hoping that the rescue that I'm working with will want to chip in and help. They don't have to. They can either just take the donations. So I'm not going to force them to do that by any means. But so that's why it's safe for all. And I don't mind getting hurt, but I don't want anybody else.
So it sounds like you don't have any actors at this point, but that's a direction you want to go. Any thoughts so far into how you will recruit actors? That sounds like it might be a good topic for a lunch and learn.
I do have friends that do come. One, I think she was our nun last year. She just basically stood out in front. And the ones that were too terrified, they still got candy bars. I hand out full-size candy bars. I don't.
If you make it through, you've earned it.
I will go to Sam's Club and buy candy.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge? Yeah.
Getting people here. I think if I could go back, I would look in an area that's more in and out here. Like I said, we only have two ways in and out of our street. So if I could go back, I would find a different place to live.
It's not always an option, though, is it?
I do have a small yard. So like one side of my yard is a chain link fence. So I run into like some of that. Sometimes I get to the point where I overdid it and I have to start eliminating stuff because I'm running out of time. And so decorating the chain link fence has been like, you see this wonderful stuff, and then you get past the chain link fence and then like in the front yard. So hopefully I have designed it to where I'm actually have forest wrapped around there. I'm kind of over the whole cobwebs stretching. And I'm over it. It's time consuming. They don't want to stay. I've like zip tied. I don't know how many zip ties I went through last year just on the cobwebs. Also, I set up everything by myself. I do have my husband. He does help.
Yeah, I feel that. I can convince my wife to help, but she does not help with any of the building. She'll only come out and help coordinate things on when we're open. But you know what? That's huge. I'll take it. That's huge.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes I'm like, you just stay inside because then I'll be doing it one way, and he's like, there's an easier way, right? And I'll be like, where were you when I was planning?
What would you say what has changed over you said 2012, so 14 years or 13 years that you've been doing this?
So a lot's changed. Like I just focus on one theme. I thought about changing it up, but then I'm like,
feel that
storage for that. I think I've grown a lot of like watching YouTube. I'm like, for the longest time, I spent money on like the Darkness Haunted House DVDs, like all of like Larry's DVDs. So I have all of them almost, and kind of just because there was not like when I was doing it, there was nobody to go to. Especially living in a smaller town, there was not really much for me. So I had to do all the research myself. I am like trial and error type thing. And then I also moved a lot. So I was in Ottumwa, Iowa for a while, then moved clear north to Emmitsburg, Iowa, and then I landed here in Des Moines shortly after. And then mostly I lived in an apartment, so it was basically decorating my balcony for most of it. So that was most of like 2013 to I want to say 17 is when we decided to rent a house. And then 18, we're like, well, we're going to buy because our rent was basically a mortgage for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, tiny home. Like, I don't think that was ridiculous. So we decided to move. So now we're in a 2-bedroom. But yeah, we have a small front yard and it's okay. I've upset some neighbors, but most of everybody around my block enjoys it. So last year I was kind of feeling, even though I had 53 people, I was also feeling defeated because there was not a whole lot. But we have one lady that lives across the street. Haven't spoken to her in the 8 years we've been here. Sure. Because we are just more to ourselves. We live, we keep to ourselves. We stay out of neighborhood drama. But she actually, she's getting older and she's like, she's always excited to see what I was doing. She's like, what you do is art. And she's like, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys are in the neighborhood. Also, I have one neighbor that clearly doesn't like it. I mean, they liked it when I started. Yeah. I was small. And then I have started to collect things. Like I have 2 child-sized cats.
Interesting.
That turned her off. And then I was also nervous that year. I was like, if it was going to be a problem, I was going to take them out. But everybody's enjoyed them. Nobody really asked questions. She was mad. She didn't like that. So until anybody else has problems, I'm just going to leave them. I think I may be retiring because they're starting to get worn out because they're basically like they're wood, like the cheap wood, and so they're about ready to be gone anyways. So I'm gonna try to get 2 more years out of them, but we'll see.
But it sounds like for the most part, at least, your neighborhood is fairly welcoming and supportive of what you're doing. And it sounds like you don't have an HOA, which is huge win.
Always a win. Always a win.
So out of the 12, 13 years, there's 1 year that I could not do it. I was all set up. I was ready to go. And then the weather took a turn. And it was a bunch of thunderstorms, high winds. And it was the first year I did corpse a 12-foot skeleton. Don't recommend it.
Tell me you filmed that process and it's available somewhere.
But I wanted...
a minute or 2.
I did not because I don't like being on camera.
You're doing so well though.
Out of my comfort zone right now. I am, but I'm also fidgeting a lot. So so no, I didn't film it. It was a pain though. But yeah, I've already first ruined it, but I didn't want it to break damage. So I literally had to take everything down the night before Halloween. I also had to work my part-time job because they moved it on Halloween. And I took that shift. I'm like, you know what? We do everything on the 30th. I'll work Halloween and you can go with your grandkids take them trick or treating in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because she lives in a different town over. And then when they announced they moved it to Halloween, I literally I was bummed. So I had to take everything down because we still had the high windstorm coming down, because otherwise I would tear away everything. But no, everything was torn down. I was in tears because I kept having people drive by and ask me what's going on. Like, they were unhappy. I was like, life happens. But also I didn't want our neighbor's driveway is literally by our hill of our house. And I do have the columns and cemetery fence to go along there. I'm fairly okay. It'll be fine. My husband's throwing a fit. It feels like it's going to knock and crash their car. So I made the ultimate choice.
Yeah, it's a hard choice, but sometimes that is exactly what has to happen. I feel it. Yeah. So you're a home hunter. You have come a long way, it sounds like, in your journey. What has been the most helpful resources that you have found to help you build?
So also, actually, it was back in 2019, I believe, I came across the Chamber of Hunters have joined. I am then have been on the board as well since then, and then just like everybody's a family. I can go to people. I actually have someone to go to for ideas and bounce off, and and that's where. It's
and I have to say it's nice to have a home hunter on the board of the chamber to make sure that our interests are being represented.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that's my main goal, and that's the reason why I think I did it, is for those home hunters that don't have anywhere to go, or they can contact me anytime, and I'm more than happy. I'm good at answering emails and not phone calls. So if I do have my number, please leave a message if I don't have it in my phone, because I probably won't get back to you or answer it. But yeah, just leave me a message and then I'll get back to you usually the next day. But normally email.
If anyone has questions for Josh immediately, please drop it into the questions. And then Les, if you see anything come in, please jump in as well. We've got just a couple of minutes left with Josh before we need to move on. But in the meantime, Josh, talk a little bit about where people can find the Haunted Bow Cemetery if they want to see pictures of what you're doing or want to help promote your haunt.
Sure. So right now I'm Bone Family Funeral Home on Facebook, and then Haunted Bone Cemetery on Instagram. There is a Haunted Bone Cemetery page on Facebook already that is mine, but my account got hacked, so I lost everything. So I created a new one, and that's when I had to change the name so it didn't get confused with others. So Haunted Bone Family Funeral Home and Cemetery on Facebook, and then Haunted Bone Cemetery on Instagram. And then come July, and then it'll be bonehunts.com.
Cannot wait to see what you come up with for this year. Go ahead, Les.
So I'm going to go ahead and start a poll. And so I'm going to be popping some of these up on occasion, but this one is just a nice, quick, easy one to keep everybody awake and interested. But again, with everything that the Bone Cemetery, I love it. It's great what you guys are building out, and again, I understand the being uncomfortable on camera and the fidgeting, but we're all here, we're all doing the same thing, and it's wonderful.
Yes.
Leslie also does not like being on camera, so this is special for all of us.
Well, and I want to interject real quick.
Please.
It's members just like Josh. He's come so far along the way that really we also learn from people like Josh, and they're the type of people that we need to hear from in what they want and how we can support them as a home haunt. And it's vitally important that our board is this diverse. We have everybody from a home haunter to a charity haunt to professional large haunts, small haunts of all different sizes. And that's what we're here for. That's why we need to hear from everybody. It's because we are such a diverse group and we do have so many different needs. And Josh is just a great example of that. And we are so proud of him, and we couldn't do what we do without him.
And I think the Chamber does a really good job of offering services that meet the needs across that entire spectrum,
We
from the
certainly
largest
try.
pro haunts all the way down to us little home haunters.
We certainly try.
So, Josh, I've got some. We're going to play the lightning round now. Just a series of quick, right off your gut questions. What is your preference as you continue building out your haunt? You ready? Animatronics or live actors?
Yep.
Ah!
A mixture.
It's never A or B. It is always C.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
you're like
mixed.
my wife. What? Both is always the answer. Ceiling scares or floor scares? Old school effects or high tech?
I like floor scares.
Clowns,
I'm gonna
yes
have
or
to say
no?
mix.
Chainsaws, yes or no?
No. Maybe, but no.
Yeah, fair.
I think it's
Original
overdone.
characters or classic movie monsters? Masks or full makeup?
I like original characters.
Yeah.
Masks are
Dialogue
easier,
or
but
no
filmmaker
talking?
are awesome too. So, depending on the situation,
Yeah.
I like dialogue.
Do you
I like
prefer
the
opening weekend
interaction.
nerves or closing night exhaustion? Full
Closing
layout
night
planned
exhaustion.
or build as you go?
I would build as you go, but I'm going to say full layout plan.
I was the same. Started out just kind of as I go, and now it is a detailed plan.
Yeah.
Permanent walls or modular
Yep.
panels?
Yep.
Always. Props, homemade or purchased?
Modular panels. I like a mixture. But I do
Yeah.
buy store-bought props. I try to make them my own if
Love
I can.
Love it. Well, Josh,
but,
thank you so much for taking the time out to talk a little bit about what you do, why you do it, your representation on the board, and Haunted Bone Cemetery. So excited to see where you go for this year.
Yeah.
So, Les, I know
Thanks
you
for
have
having me.
a poll ready for just kind of introduce how we are going to run the rest of the session today. Now we really want to get we want to get the ideas, and we want to get conversation going with everyone else who is online today, in the hope that we can start brainstorming some ideas on where we want these lunch and learns to go. So let's go ahead and pop the poll up. That is to kick this part off. We'll see if I am able to see said poll. I have been having technical difficulties all day because I screwed up when I registered for this. Hopefully the rest of you are, it's going much more smoothly than it is for me.
It was a learning experience.
That is what we're doing here. We are
There
learning
you
during
go.
the lunch and learn.
Learning how to use this.
Do you have it up, Les?
I have it up.
Yeah, talk a little bit about it. What? I
So
can't see anything.
again, the goal here and the goal that the chamber has is not just to say, okay, here's what we're teaching you this year, here's what all the lunch and learns are, but really to reach out to our community and say, what is it that is going to benefit you the most as haunters? So what is something that you would like to learn for your haunt? Is there a skill that you want to learn? Is there an aspect of, prop building or makeup or costuming or business, finance, accounting, marketing, the business side, the boring stuff that you would like to learn, that you want to have available to you through these lunch and learns? So really what we're looking for is what's going to help you, because the board, we can say, oh yeah, this should be useful, but if it's not actually useful to what you guys need, then it's not useful at all. So we're looking to get that feedback of what do you want, what do you need as haunters, and then we're going to take that information, and the Chamber of Haunters is then going to use that to reach out to our network and to build these monthly lunch and learns to be the most value.
Exactly. And by we, I mean Les and I, we talk extensively about what we call the Haunting You method when we're talking on the podcast. And this is kind of the steps that we have figured out work best for us as we're building our haunt every year. It's broken out into 3 phases: the planning phase, the production phase, and then the presentation phase. And within each, there are all of the check boxes that we're trying to hit every year to make sure that we're putting on the best show that we possibly can. But within each of those, there is just a ton of nuance. There's a ton of different methods. There's a ton of different strategies or tools that we could be using, or anyone could be using, to flush out what they're trying to do. I see Dave Ferrier has sent in a question. For the education programs that we're offering, are you looking for others to deliver training? And I'm going to answer for Kimberly here. Yes, we are. Yes. I think that we are absolutely looking for people who want to participate, want to deliver training, want to lead one of these lunch and learn sessions to take the knowledge that they have built up throughout their careers and help others to figure out what they are good at already. Do you want to expand on that, Kimberly? I see you turned your camera on.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody is welcome to come and teach. That's what's the beauty about our community. You know, our motto is uniting the haunt community, and that is how we unite, is sharing information. So we are always looking for people that are willing to come forward and share their expertise and wanting to get their information out to everybody in the community. So yes, please.
For those of you who are in the chat or listening, please drop into the chat. What are the things that you think you are really good at? Personally, I think I'm pretty good with layouts, figuring out how to maximize the space that I have available. I get I'm going to say, sick pleasure out of squeezing every little bit of space I can out of the space that I have. And that is from...
That's an understatement.
Thanks, Les. I'm an engineer. What can I say? Like
yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the military. I move every 2 to 3 years, and that means I am constantly being forced to recreate my haunt wherever we go. And so yeah, I have had to. Yes, Dennis, you totally come talk to me. We can work something out on layout. Oh man, I'm going to butcher this name like crazy. Dennis Van Landuit. I apologize for what just happened, but the other Dennis, good at creating light show. Super curious. What software are you using to create light shows? Please drop that into the chat. X Lights. Yeah. Okay. Love X Lights. It is super, what's the word I want less? Flexible, but you need to have a little bit of DIY. Van Landit. See, it's so much easier to say than it looked. I apologize. Van Landit. But yeah, X Lights, great solution if you have a little bit of DIY know-how, good with electronics. It's phenomenal. Other folks I see on here, Steve Lacruto, cold calling for coffins is my all-time favorite. I need to talk to you, sir. I need more of what you are offering.
That's great. So, as you guys keep putting things into the chat, I'm going to read off some of the stuff that's coming through, has come in on the poll. So, all information is valuable. Information on getting volunteers and holding them, especially for charity haunts. That's a big one, and that's
sorry.
Managing your volunteers, and I mean that's a really, really good one. Learning more about home haunters' ideas and issues.
Say that one again.
Learning more about home haunters' ideas and issues.
Indeed.
So I'd love to hear from haunt owners who do their own training and if they're willing to hire professional scare actor trainers. Like me,
interesting.
Dave. Pneumatic prop help builds.
Yes, pneumatics can be very tricky, especially for someone who has never jumped into it before. I think we could do an entire class on nothing but pneumatics.
Very
easily. There's all kinds of different ways of doing prop building. I think classes on just the various types.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makeup and networking with others, and so much more.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, marketing, locally and nationally, best online ideas, best community outreach, boots on the ground advertising, etc.
Yeah. We were talking about that with Josh. You can build the greatest haunt in the world, but if nobody knows it's there, then you're not going to get a customer base to come. So that advertising is so freaking key to getting a customer base to actually show up. And for the pro haunts, if you're not making money, you're not coming back next year. So advertising is absolutely huge, absolutely key.
All right, different smaller topics: lighting, scenic painting, DIY animatronics, and business.
The business
I laugh
side.
because I work in finance, accounting, and business management. So it's the stuff that everybody needs and nobody wants to think about because it's kind of dry and boring. And for a lot of us, money numbers get scary.
I maintain the scariest part of running a haunted house is the finances every year. The scariest part of the finances are my personal books. Don't look. Just don't look.
Yeah, I'll fix them one of these days. Relevant and attainable advertising techniques. TV commercials are not what we'd consider attainable for most haunted houses. So what is an option? So these are great. And as you guys have more things, or you come up, or you go and talk to your haunt friends, come back, let the chamber know, because we will be taking this information and putting it together to build out our lunch and learns.
Absolutely. And if you happen to be watching this after the live show has ended, because it's up on YouTube or whatever, definitely drop your ideas into the comment section here on YouTube, because we'll keep going back to the YouTube post as well to be looking for new ideas. So today, this is not the only opportunity to get those ideas in. Please keep throwing ideas out as it occurs to people, and we can find ways to incorporate those as well.
I mean, there's so much knowledge and experience available to us with all of the haunters and with the entire community. And really what we want to do is bring that all together and make that accessible so everybody can learn something from somebody else. And that's one of the beautiful things about what the Chamber of Haunters is doing and what these lunch and learns are going to be able to provide.
Yeah, absolutely. Marvin Skaggs just commented, finance is what gets us in trouble because we give so much money away, then never have enough to buy what we need for the next year, then find myself working to buy things for the haunted house. Totally feel that in my soul. That is the story of my life right there.
Yep. And there's ways to manage that. And there's ways to plan around and build things out in ways that are functional, not as scary to manage, and will let you invest back into your haunt without having to go pick up 3 extra jobs to pay for it.
Which tends to be my strategy.
Yes, I know. I keep trying to teach you.
Yeah. Hashtag facts from Chris Patty. I'm feeling a bunch of kindred souls here. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. Thank you for that. Kimberly, I saw you turn your camera back on. Did you want to jump in?
Nope, just trying to keep up with the chat and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's great. I really appreciate all the feedback because it gives us a perfect direction for planning out the next year, and knowing what people need. That's half the battle.
Oh, absolutely. I see training scare actors has come up a couple of times in the chat, and recruiting scare actors I think goes right along with that, because without the recruiting, you have no one to train.
So true. And I know there's a lot of companies out there that do the recruiting. I would love to hear from them too. There is a process, and like I said, reaching out to all of them and trying to bring them into the same area so that we can all learn and we can all get the needs. It's really, we talk about it, and trying to implement it is just a little bit on the hard side when you don't have the connection. So when we have days like today that we can all come together and brainstorm like this, it then gives me the opportunity to reach out to more people and say, what has been your success with these companies? What has been your interactions with them? Has it worked? Has it not worked? And if it has worked, then is that a direction that, we as an industry are going with, and then bringing them in to share with everyone. So that's really what my goal is just to find what people need and make it happen. That's where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I see some good discussion about recruiting high school students for to use as actors. Recruiting actors was, I think, the biggest struggle that we had this year, because in the past I have been, I'm going to say, fairly effective at bribing friends and things to come in and assist, and then they all moved away because, you know, all of my friends are also in the military, and they don't stick around as very long, just like I don't. So for the first year, it was a struggle finding actors. So I'd love to see more discussion there.
And then also the discussion, you know, when you can't find actors, what do you do with your haunt to adjust? Do you switch to animatronics?
Yes.
Do you adjust your scares? So you can still put on an amazing haunt even when you can't kidnap all the people that you need to actually run the haunt.
Yep. And ways to make your actors, I'm going to say, more effective. I took a great seminar at West Coast Haunters Convention years ago that talked about hub haunting, where you build your walls in a way such that you can put like an actor in a secret room behind the walls, but they have access to 3 or 4 different corridors off of that little room, so that they have the opportunity to do 2 or 3 scares. Makes it look like you have 3 times as many actors as you actually do, and that has worked very well for me. Doors everywhere. You can go from room to room and still scare with less actors. Absolutely. Opportunities for actors to get around behind the scenes. And it messes with guests' head when they keep seeing the same actor popping up as they are walking through. It's like, am I going in circles? What is happening? Love that. Love it. Oh, Dave Ferrier, though, I'm a firm believer in doing auditions and not just warm body equals hired. There's
some value to that.
There is so much value to that. Why do they have to be poor?
It helps a little bit with the posing. When they're cold and stiff, you end up breaking joints and things rather than just, you know, getting them in the right moves. As we are seeing so much through so much of the country right now, every morning I walk out, I end up cold and stiff. Anyone else feeling that? No. I'm going to drop another poll as we're again continuing this discussion. So, what are your goals for your haunt this season?
Oh, great one. I think our biggest goal this year, so we had a fairly successful home haunt last year. We brought in a little over 100 people and collected like 250 pounds of food for our local food bank, which is a charity that Sanguine Creek Estates supports. So I think our big goal this year, I want to double the number of attendees we have, go from 100 to 200, and double the amount of and double the food that we've collected as well as part of that. But curious to hear from all of you. What are your goals for the upcoming season? You know, it's the end of January. We're coming up on convention season, which is one of my favorite times. God, I say
favorite times of the year.
I have too many favorite times of the year. I love convention season. I love build season. I love execution season. Like, I guess I'm just happy all year. What a problem to have.
What a problem. How horrible for you. How absolutely horrible for you.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for convention season this year. We're going to be at Texas Haunters Convention for the first time. Kimberly convinced me, and I think we found a way to there we go. See, Dennis Van Lundet, I'm learning, is asking what conventions we'll be at. Yeah, we'll definitely be at Texas Haunters Convention. We'll have a booth there right next to the Chamber of Haunters. I'll also be getting up to East Coast Haunters Convention because it's like 2 hours for me, and why not, right? And then beyond that, we'll see. I would love to get back to Hunters Against Hate again. Had a great time there last year, but they moved. They're going to be up in Michigan instead of Louisville, Kentucky, which is a little bit less convenient. And I think it's also the weekend after Texas. And I don't know that I can do 2 in a row. That I don't know if my day job would allow that. That would be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, other people plan to be at Texas. Anyone else, please drop it in the chat. If you're planning to be at a convention this year, where are you going to be at? Would love to have the opportunity to meet as many of you fine haunters as possible when we're out and about. Did we get any response back from the goals poll yet, Les?
Yes, we do. So, refined current attraction. 2025 was year 1 for Dave Ferrier's haunt, and get even more guest scare actors to come haunt with us. From Chris, customer growth and being outdoors, so more secure from the weather. So again,
Ooh,
having
yeah.
a session on how do you weatherproof your haunt. Again, we've got everything from snowstorms if you're up north, bomb cyclones if you're on the East Coast. There's all sorts of different weather that we can get dumped on. Retain actors and changed planned scenes. So how do you adjust your haunt and keep everything kind of fresh and interesting?
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Moyer, make more decor, make it visibly scary with good ambiance and get more people out.
Yes, love it.
All right.
You might benefit from episode 10 of the Hunting You podcast, where we discuss Disney's use of weenies to bring people in. It's a great discussion, and there's lots of weenie jokes. So it's a good episode.
We've got somebody who's thinking that it might be their last year. They've been running their haunt since 2001 and finding it hard to keep past, getting them trained to do well, and then they're being hired away by bigger haunts for profit. And then
that's a rough spot to be in.
One. That's a tough one because again, you train them up, you give them a love for it, and then they get snatched up by somebody else. So yeah, that's definitely. How do you manage that? How do you plan for that?
How do you incentivize actors to stick around?
Yes, because you can't really chain them to the bedpost. Rebuilding and expanding the midway area and continuing to increase revenue.
Ooh, love that. Any opportunity we can find to give people a reason to stick around gives them more opportunity to spend money. And I so want to have a midway when we finally go pro.
We're not doing it in your driveway.
I mean, I have only so much space here.
You do have a large driveway.
I do have a large driveway, but it's mostly, walk through at this point. There's not a lot of space for anything else.
So yeah, it sounds like a lot of different goals, but a lot of what I'm seeing is really about training and retaining actors and kind of expanding and for haunts that are making money, being able to put money back into the haunt or at least not walk away with a giant hole in your pocket at the end of each season.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave Ferrier's coming out. Pay your actors, train them, give them awards, and trust and take care of them during the season. That's how you keep them. Cannot emphasize that enough. You treat your actors well, they will keep coming back. I love Scarrett badges. They're a great way to reward your actors, and they're funny. Like, you get to tell stories as you're passing them out and reflect on how the season went. I have a blast with these every time.
We just lost your audio, Kay.
Am I back?
That's
or
better.
Gone?
Nope, you're back.
I bumped my cord and it caused chaos.
Yeah, don't bump cords.
Don't bump cord.
I was going to ask if your cat escaped and got into the room.
They're out. Avoid things like this. We see how well it worked. Well, we've got just a couple of minutes left here. It is 2:55. Hope to be wrapped up by 3. If you have any final thoughts, please drop them into the chat right now on future topics for these Lunch and Learns. Or if you have just thoughts that you'd like to put out to the rest of the attendees here as well, we will take that as well.
Yep. I dropped our last poll. Yeah. What is one piece of advice that you would give to other haunters?
Love that. Oh my gosh. Oh, one piece of advice that I would give to other haunters. Learn to delegate. Particularly for the owners out there. You need a team that is that you trust, that is skilled, and once you learn who is good at what, give them responsibility, but then more importantly, empower them to do it. You can't just give responsibility and then hang over their shoulder. You're not really giving responsibility, and it's still on you. That's the thing that I struggle with most. I am a control freak, and so I need to do better at delegating things out to the people who come out and help me, because it will let me focus on the things that I really need to focus on, and the things that I don't want to focus on, like costuming and makeup and the stuff I'm not good at but are kind of important, those will all get better as well. So yeah, that would definitely be my big piece of advice. What are you seeing in the poll, Les?
So one for me definitely is ask for help. I'm very much less with the delegation. I don't mind delegating. It's the I'm going to do it and I'm going to figure it out come hell or high water, but I really should probably ask for help.
And the thing is, like, if I had asked for help, a week ago, I would have had to go through hell and high water to get to an answer. It would have been solved a week ago, and I would have moved on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But advice that's coming in, these are wonderful. Always take care of your staff.
Yes. And not just with pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Start slow. Let your audience build your show.
Ooh.
Meaning what you profit from this year, reinvest it and continue to grow the show. I love that. That's a great piece of advice. Train your actors and your managers.
Absolutely. Teach your managers how to manage.
Yep. Because that is a skill in and of itself.
Seriously.
Stay involved in the community. Delegation is key, but stay on them to make sure that it's getting done.
Yes. Yeah. Great point. Definitely delegate and empower, but you have to follow up too.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
Go to conventions and take classes.
Yes. And find me while you're there.
He's easy to find. He runs around.
I do.
Be patient. It is hard work, but if you can get through the first year, things get a little bit easier as you keep doing it. The main thing, have fun.
Have
100%
fun.
Agree.
Have fun. If we're not having fun, why are we doing it?
Yep. Delegate, but watch what's being done. Even the most trusted help will let you down when not watched. Sounds bad, but even last year had a main person to build a new set. After 3 months, had to work hard to get the scene finished.
Yeah. Yep. I feel that.
It's always a balancing act, and finding that balance point that you are delegating but managing, and that goes for everything that we do in our haunts. It goes for our personnel, that goes for our building, it goes for the management of the money, the people, all of it. It's something that is difficult to figure out, but once you find that sweet spot, the success rate just explodes.
Yeah. Chris Patty's jumped in talking about delegation still. Agree with delegation, very key to operations. This past season, I focused on a safety person, outdoor haunt. So this is very important, and things I don't see, this person can focus on. Great point, especially when it comes to safety. Having someone whose sole purpose is to look around the haunts and find things that may not be safe. Huge. Absolutely huge. Absolutely love that. Any other final advice before we start wrapping up? I don't want to cut off early.
That's everything that came in on the poll.
Perfect.
Thank you. These are all great pieces of advice. What you guys have been able to contribute and put into the chat and into the polls is really going to give the chamber a really, really strong place to start.
Good heading. Dennis Moyer pointed out, if you're not a member of the chamber and you do join, we start the Chamber Bowl in March. It is a blast, and to any members on Watch Your Facebook, as we will be starting signups. The Chamber Bowl is like March Madness, but for haunted houses. It is a ton of fun watching the competition as it narrows down to the final two haunts, and then I believe the winners would get a belt. Is that right?
They do, and I was actually. Before I became president, I knew we gave out a belt, but I had never actually seen and interacted with it. Oh my gosh, that belt is huge and it's heavy. I'm like, what on earth are we? I mean, you can knock somebody out with that belt. So it's really cool.
Well, Kimberly, it is 3:00. I think it is a great time to wrap up. Do you have any final thoughts before we go?
I am just very appreciative to everybody who attended today. It gives us a perfect direction that we can, starting tomorrow, I'm going to go through and take all of the notes that I've been writing down. I'm going to re-listen to the recording. I'm going to get it up on YouTube and all of that. And really focus on where we're going for February all the way through December. This was exactly what I needed. And I'm really, really, really grateful. And I thank both of you two for being here and working through this with us and allowing me to kind of sit in the back and listen to everybody, because that's what I really like to do. I like to sit in the background and I like to be able to listen so that I can meet the needs of our members. That's really important to me. And so thank you for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to moving us all the way through the end of the year with some really great classes, with some really great instructors. So thank you all.
Absolutely. It has been an absolute pleasure for us as well. I had a blast, Les, I think. And
Yeah.
I see the grin on your face. It looks like you have also had fun. Before we go, everyone, please remember you can find the Chamber of Haunters at chamberofhaunters.com or on Facebook. I closed the Facebook one. Facebook.com/Chamber of Haunters. Instagram.com/Chamber of Haunters as well. Make sure you're following along so you can be alerted for every time one of these Lunch and Learns come up. And if you enjoyed the conversation that we were having today, please check out the Haunting You podcast, because we would love to have you come join us as well. You can find us at hauntingyou.com, facebook.com/hauntingyou, just the letter U, or instagram.com/hauntinguniversity. And of course, our YouTube is at Haunting You, just the letter U, where you can find everything that the Haunting You podcast is doing. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you at a future Lunch and Learn.
Halloween hugs, everyone.
The Chamber of Haunters, uniting the haunted.